And guests would like, and good evening. It's all right. I've started a stream recently where I was muted. Yes, we're back. We're back again in X-Plane, carrying on one of our many adventures. This time we're back in the Bahamas, carrying on from where we got to last time, which was San Salvador Island, working our way around the Bahamas. Before we're going to head across after tonight's flight, heading across to Cuba. But tonight, though, we got 81-mile leg, and then if I missed one out, and then a 68-mile leg. I think I've missed out NYAP, haven't I?
Yep,
you have indeed.
Let me just add that in. There we go. So from here down to Colonel Hill, then to Spring Point, and then down to Mayaguana. Which sounds like Mayaguana, but there we go. Down to that place there, which is nowhere near Canada, thankfully. So I am in the awesome little DA62. I'm joined by the man that should be doing that in a jet aircraft, and that's Chris. Good evening, Chris.
I get that a lot. Good evening.
So what is it you're actually in?
I am in a Grumman Goose.
Which I will pull onto screen, actually, what you are in. So there we go. That's what Chris is actually in. But FS Cloud, the software we use to link us all together, is showing him as being in that, which is nowhere near the right size, certainly nowhere near the right engines. The other side of Chris, if I zoom up, and no, he's back there, isn't he? There we go. And what looks like a 172, but I'm sure it isn't. It's Sam. Good evening, Sam.
Good evening.
And what are you actually in?
I'm in the Piper PA32 Saratoga.
Oh, really nice.
Twin.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, he's got a 12-volt fan plugged in. That makes it a twin.
Twin -1.
Yeah, twin minus. Yeah, they forgot to put the other one in. And over there, on the end of the runway already, Keen, is Dory. Evening, Dory.
Good evening.
And what are you flying this evening?
Well, attempting the Baron.
Oh dear. I was going to say attempting, but I thought, no, I'll be nice. I'm sure you'll be fine. Right, so let me jump in this then. And hopefully maybe joining us shortly is Mr. Gazaraya, but he's having a few technical difficulties. Right. My lovely little twin diesels are alive. So I've got our first destination plumbed in, so we should follow that course. It's 81 miles to our first stop. As you're at the end of the runway then, Dory, you may as well go first, and I will follow these two gentlemen.
Yeah, because I'll probably still come in last.
You did that the other day, didn't you? You took off first, landed last. Right.
No idea where I'm going, so don't get in front of me.
It does look really odd to see that taxiing like that. It shouldn't be like that. So yes, twin diesels in this thing. I'm guessing it still runs on... It can't run on avgas, surely.
No, it runs on jet fuel.
Ah, okay.
Apparently the difference between motor gas, diesel and jet fuel is very, very small.
I do want to do a really long... We've done a couple of longish flights in this. I'd love to do something really long in this thing. Really push its limit range-wise, because it is an awesome plane. Nicholas, good evening.
Woohoo! That was a one-wheel turn. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I kind of tipped up a bit.
Whoops!
I got to steer into
It's like my
the
dog
lean.
cocking its leg.
Right, so I shall...
Stunt riding, I see how it is. I'm gonna have to try and do something cool now.
Right, parking brake on. So Chris is going for it. Handily as he accelerates, the front wheel comes down. This is complete. It's like he's landing. Right, so Dory's gone. I don't know which way he's gone. Oh, he's over there. Right, Sam's about to taxi out then. Let me power forward. Release the brakes first. And wait for Sam. So don't forget, if you're watching, there's no Friday night stream from me or Saturday night stream, but hoping to be back in time to do some flying on Sunday afternoon, maybe an hour or so later than normal, but we'll do something on Sunday afternoon. Right, there goes Sam. So let me taxi on down. I wonder if this windscreen will dry out in the air. Interesting, just covered with spots of rain at the moment. I just want to keep revving this thing, it sounds so nice. Not as nice as Sam's does, and probably nowhere near as nice as Chris's does.
So, Sam, is that Saratoga the one that you posted a link to?
Hold on, mate. I'm gonna have to turn my sound down.
Oh, sorry.
I can't hear anything. I went full crazy with the sound there. Sorry, mate. Say that again.
The Saratoga that you're in tonight, is that the same one that you posted a link to?
It is, mate. Yeah, the one on SimShack.
Okay.
It's a 10.4 X-Plane one by Caronado, but it's one of the ones that actually works quite well.
Oh, okay.
And yes, it has got autopilot, so you can cheat if you want to.
If you're that way inclined. Not that any of us would do that, of course.
No, well, I'm not.
Hashtag Tomahawk. Right, and airborne. Gear up.
So what flight level are you all flying at?
1500 for me.
Oh, okay, I'll go up then.
Doesn't really matter around here. 1500 is probably a bit on the high side even.
Yeah, it's just what the nav map said, so yeah, I might drop it down a bit.
Oh, is it raining?
Right, so there's Dory, there's Chris, and Sam is there. Right, oil temperature issue again. I'm not even maxed out. You ain't using ortho? No, just stock scenery for this. Hello, Liam. Yeah, I can't seem to control. I get the same issue every time with this plane. That the oil temperature just goes completely sky high. I'm not in the red with RPM, sort of 2170, and the load is 83%, but my oil temperature just goes ching all the way up.
Do you have cow flaps in that thing?
I've got mine closed, is that right?
They should be open for taxi and takeoff, and then close them as much as you can while keeping the temperature good during cruise.
The temperature. Oh, I see. The oil temperature you're on about, or
And cylinder head. So if your temperatures start climbing, open the cowl flaps a bit.
Yeah, all temperatures come down now. The warning's gone, so that's a plus.
I haven't got a warning, so that's get it.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I think I sent you off over Bahamas a while ago, if I'm not wrong. Did you? Actually, yeah, you may have done last time we were here. Yeah, I just forget to install these things. Oh, Gaz is having issues. His Windows is now decided to update. Alright, so whipping along quite nicely at 164 knots. And yeah, cowl flaps has helped dramatically. I must have had a shuttle this time. Thinking, why is this plane overheating?
Are we all landing at runway 09 by any chance?
I don't know. Stop being organised. Have you not been on any of these flights before?
Well, I'd like to be a little bit organised.
If you have a look,
yeah,
if
09.
you have a look down, there's this big blue area. That's where I'm landing.
He's landing on the water.
Ooh.
Because, yeah, he posted this morning. There is a...
yeah, it's freeware, I think. And, oh, no, it's not. It's payware, isn't it? Off explain.org, I think.
No, he's just going to land, I think. SP23.
Yep, just land in the water right next to the airport.
I'd say 09 would be a good call.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go.
So that's where we are. And that's where we're... auto follow. That's where we're headed. So NYCI. So we're going to be landing on runway 09 there, and Chris is going to be landing in the water because he can, he's goose. And then take off here. He'd have to land on the hard stuff at NYAP, and then again when we get to Mayaguana Harbour, he'll land in the water again. What's happening? Trying not to crash, trying not to get too wet is generally the gist of it. Or struck by lightning based on that.
Yeah, it's quite... I'm fighting with the controls a little bit here.
I've just posted a picture of the mod cons in my plane.
Wow.
That is a tall toilet, isn't it?
That's a very tall toilet. You've got to leap up onto that. It's all
Well,
going...
you know, you've got to be able to brace against the ceiling in case you suddenly get a microburst.
Yeah.
Well, then you're in the right place if that happens. I got soaked just walking in Thamesmead yesterday. It's a bit damp out there. Yeah, surprisingly now, with the cowl flaps open, all temperatures lovely down in the green, oil pressure's fine, coolant temperatures almost too cold. Who knew that cowl flaps are a thing? At least with most water landings you don't have a crosswind.
Yep, just
land
find
into
out
the
where
wind.
the wind's blowing and land into it, yeah.
Yeah, you can't redo that with the runway. So I said they should have runways on like big turntables, so the runways always turn into the wind.
Like a weather vane, so it just turns with the wind.
Yeah, it'd make approaches interesting. She'd be lined up for it, and all of a sudden it'd turn. The Thames burst its banks at North Greenwich, did it? Oh, blimey. Yeah, the Thames near me gets a bit high at times. Right, so there's Chris down in front of us. There's Sam. And there's Dory over there. So there we all are in FS Cloud. So heading down to here. And then there. And then over there. Now that it's legal here, I get quite high at times too. Fair play, Limping Ball, you go for it. Well, they closed the Thames Barrier to protect London, so North Greenwich got it all. They actually closed the barrier. It's only a few times a year that gets closed, isn't it? Well, completely. And there's sometimes a couple of them shut. The one place I've never been is the Greenwich Observatory. Hey. Hi, LTZ. Or LTZ.
Lima Tango Zulu.
Yes.
Or, if you're going to be sad like me, Alpha Mike Yankee.
Yes. That as well. Nerf My Age, good evening. You went on a school trip when you was like 7. Yeah, a bit far from me to go on a school trip. Yeah, I don't even think twins were the right choice for this. I think something a bit slower. Might have been a bit.
I mean, I'm doing 160, coming across quite nicely, but I can slow it down to 120, 110 if I wanted to.
No, I'm up around the 160 now.
It's quite versatile, this plane. It flies at a slower speed or a faster speed. It's quite happy either way. It's quite stable.
You're a good all-rounder then.
Yeah, it's a Piper in it. They're pretty solid. I looked at my list I've made for the flight sim show today, and it worried me. So I need to either prioritise some stuff or rob a bank.
Oh, I've just realised that my Guitar Hero God is playing like an hour away from me on the week of my birthday next year. So I think I might have to get tickets.
Oh.
Yeah, Mr. Bonamassa playing in Cardiff. Might have to be a thing. Just posted on Bookface. Gaz is having complete issues with Windows, so he may join us for like the last leg or something. You never know. So yes,
just in time for good night, everyone.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, good night, everybody. See you Sunday.
Good night, Gaz.
Yeah, yeah. Say good night, Gaz. What plane are you in, Steve? The engine's like a DA62. It is indeed a DA62.
Oh my god. There was like a lightning bolt about 3 foot to the left. That was scary. I've not had that before.
So yeah, if you're regular on watching, the next stream after this will be Sunday. Won't be a stream on Friday. It'll be nothing on Saturday because we're away at the Flight Sim show this coming Saturday, and I'm travelling up on Friday. So no Friday night stream, no Saturday stream, but we'll be back in time for something on Sunday. Hoping to be home by lunchtime, so there will be a flight stream carrying on in South Africa. Then hopefully we'll talk about the things that I spent money on at the Flight Sim show. But yeah, maybe a couple of live streams from the show. I might just go straight to YouTube. Oh, I won't get my Saturday Agadoo fix. No, you won't, Hillsman. But the following week, yes, next week, I'll be streaming on Wednesday as normal, so we flight. I'll be streaming on Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday as normal, and then a couple of times throughout that week, so I got a week off. I don't seem to have been at work much in the last month. It's great. Well, I had a week off, went back for 2 days? No, did I go back for 2 days? Yeah, I had a week off, went back for 3 days? Or was it a week? No, a week off, went back for a week, and then had a week off sick. And then I've been back 2 weeks, and then another week off. You're going to cue the conga for Tux. Well, he'll be with us on Saturday, so I can always play it for him. He'll be at the Flight Sim show with us on Saturday. So 45 miles to go. Holding at 160 knots. I'm guessing that thing of yours, Chris, does the same sort of speed, because you're holding out in front of me quite well.
Yeah, I've got it on a nice gentle cruise, just under 2100 RPM, and I'm doing about 185 miles an hour.
Wow.
She'll cruise it over 200 if I push it.
Nice.
There again, I do have two 1300 horsepower engines in it.
Yes, I've got 2 lawnmowers strapped to the wings. Nice, not, I wouldn't say excitingly sounding lawnmowers, but it's lawnmower noise.
Well, I do like that plane though. It's a cool plane.
Yeah. It is really well modelled, and really well detailed, and having the G1000, well the X1000 in this case, in it makes a difference. But yeah, it is really nice.
I didn't think I'd like it because with the GA stuff, I prefer like the old school with the steam gauges, and it's quite digitalised, the cockpit in there.
Yeah.
But it's still really, really nice to fly.
And they're diesel lawnmowers, exactly. What was the plan? I was going to post it. Was it last night I watched it? Sam Chewy's video of the Air France getting the first. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. What a cockpit! That looks flipping awesome.
It's like just a bunch of 32-inch monitors. It almost looks like.
It is.
I think they're 19-inch screens, which is pretty big for a flight deck.
When he showed the inside of the cockpit, I was like, when's that out in X-Plane? I need that in my life.
It's already out in X-Plane.
Really? No.
Yeah, unfortunately for you.
Oh no.
It's not a brilliant version of it. You can't quite do all the approaches and procedures. Not that you're a fan of that anyway. But yeah, Flight Factor have done it, so it looks, sounds and flies quite well. It's just not a massively... It's not finished, the simulation of it, but you can use the autopilot and stuff. I quite like it. It was only 30 quid in the sale, so 33 quid I think it cost.
Oh, okay.
So it's not that bad. I mean, Flight Factor, usually you guarantee quality with their stuff anyway.
Well, again, as Tux said, I'm holding out a lot of hopes for the Flight Sim show on Saturday. But this is the first year that I'm actually going and have got an interest in looking at stuff. The first year, it was just a social gathering because I hadn't been to Cosford before, so that was a plus as well. Last year, again, it was more of a social gathering thing than it was the Flight Sim show. I literally did like 2 or 3 laps of the show, didn't really look at any stands, and then walked around the museum. I think we were gone by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. And this year's the first year that, I want to see the laminar presentation. I want to have a look at all the stands and actually look and see what is out. Because Aerosoft have been there every year, and they got discounts that are there. And there's a few other developers that are there. So I actually do want to look to see what's out.
I want Magnite to really convince me that 787 is going to be something better than it is at the minute, because I really want a 787 again. Because I had the Quality Wings one in FSX, which was amazing, and it's just equally as good in P3D, but we've not quite got that plane for X-Plane yet with the full systems. So if they can convince me somehow that plane is going to be the next big thing, then I'll buy it. But I don't know, looking at it, it doesn't look up to scratch. I think NOS has got it.
Yeah, I read that, Tux. It won't be Austin doing the laminar presentation, but Philip Ringler.
Oh, right.
Well, it's a shame it wasn't Austin, because he's quite amusing in the YouTube videos. First of all, I thought he's a bit of a crackpot, but it's actually quite interesting to watch now. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to having a proper look round at stands and see what's out. I got, there's a few of the hardware people that are there, so there you've got a complete overhead panel from a Boeing you can buy if you really wanted to. If you've got, yeah, and you can have that hung above your head. How flipping epic is that if you've got the money?
That would fit quite nicely. I'm just looking above my head now. I've got an angled roof, so I could actually do that. That's not good.
Will take a lot to convince me that the Magnite 787 is improved. I have version 1 and it's ...
Yeah. Yeah, I've watched quite a few different videos on it and it looks pretty basic. For $50, that's not what you want, really. So
we'll see. For those of you in Discord, I'm sure a few of us that are at the show on Saturday will post some pictures. I'll certainly try and do a couple of live streams to YouTube from the show, and yeah, a bit of a follow-up maybe in the evening as to where my money's gone. Mainly because Mr. Gazarara will be there in the evening over the bar. And if it still gets me hooked, as much over the next year or more than it has currently, then we did talk about it this year, about doing the Flight Sim Expo, which was Orlando, I think it was. So that could be something on the cards next year, because you can fly to Orlando pretty cheap, because there's flights full of leggings wearing family members flying out there quite often.
Like, you mean the Pineapple family?
Yeah.
The tracksuit wearing Pineapple family that everybody hates that gets on the plane.
Oh yeah, with the loud
because
kids.
If you're going to do a video, it's going to have commentary on it from the council estate. I hate that. Every time I do a video of like an awesome approach somewhere, a kid cries or someone pipes up and says something stupid.
Wow, Liam, that's many bits. Thank you very, very much. 69, actually, Liam. I bet you did that on purpose, didn't you? Well, yeah, you see these people I follow on YouTube that you see them do the, stick the camera to the window of the plane, so you can do the approach and stuff. You can almost see now why sometimes there's no audio.
Yeah, I thought about dubbing over some of my videos, so I've got some really good ones, but like I say, a lot of them.
What if they must need to get permission to sort of clamp their GoPro to the window? Or whether they just do it?
don't know. I mean, I know Noel Phillips does it a lot, but he's usually flying in posh geek class, isn't he? So he's got about 3 windows to himself.
Yeah. Oh God, he's linked I'm glad you linked it in Twitch chat, because I'm not going to click on that in there.
That's right. I linked it in Discord as well. I didn't forget you.
God's sake. Yeah, he's interesting videos, Noel. He says he pays for the tickets himself. What the hell do you do for a job then, if that's the case?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them he gets some decent deals on some of them. When he flew back from San Francisco, I think it was, or LA, on Virgin to Heathrow, it was only 748 quid in first class, which I thought was actually quite good.
Yeah.
He uses his air miles as well, doesn't he, quite a lot, which he's probably got quite a few of.
I can imagine.
But
Yeah,
yes,
the
I
airlines-
often find myself wondering what he used to do or sell before he
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah, that's Sam. There's a lot of people out there now doing, transport and stuff, vlogging, because it does do well for the industry. So, an airline will give someone a ticket to somewhere and back if they vlog it, because it's good publicity.
I think he gets some quite high-profile advert companies as well that make quite a lot of revenue. So when he gets an Emirates advert or a Delta advert pop up, I imagine he gets a fair crack at that.
Yeah. Well, Gaz flying back or flew back from Chicago for like 100 and something quid,
Yeah.
which is mad.
Yeah, we worked it out that my friend at work and I were looking at flying around the world, and we found a flight that leaves. You'd fly to Frankfurt, and then you'd fly Frankfurt to, I think, Dallas, and then Dallas to LA, and then LA to Auckland in New Zealand. And to get halfway around the world, it was 700 and something pounds, less than 750 quid.
It's just mad, isn't it?
So then the rest of the journey, if you got like 2 or 3 grand, you could probably fly around the world.
Yeah. Thank you, Liam.
If you did it right. So yeah, that would be cool. New Zealand's somewhere that I need to go as well. It's on my bucket list. I definitely need to go there.
Well, it is becoming cheaper. It is shrinking the world. You can get cheap flights.
Yeah, I mean,
if you know when to look.
with the 350 as well. You're not gonna be far off being able to fly direct to a lot of places.
Yeah.
I mean, New Zealand now, when they start flying to Sydney direct from London, you could potentially fly to New Zealand in 2 flights, but 2 quicker flights than you might normally do it in.
You could probably get to New Zealand in 24 hours.
Yeah, or less, which is crazy when you think about it.
That's mad, isn't it? You could leave London at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. By 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning, you're at the other side of the world.
They were saying, I can't remember where it was, someone was saying you could, if you had New Year in Auckland, you could fly to America and have New Year's in America and then have it in another country. I can't quite remember what the route was, but you could celebrate New Year 3 times potentially.
There was a program or documentary once where someone chartered an airline, a plane, and they pretty much chased New Year's Eve. So,
yeah,
so they flew again.
I've seen something like that.
So they had several time zones. So several times they actually, had New Year's.
Yeah, that's crazy. Isn't it,
Is Preston on your list of places to visit, Sam, says Liam?
Preston would be a lovely place to fly over on the way to Canada or Boston, yeah. I'd be definitely sure to use the facilities at that point.
Oh, exactly. Right, so not far now from turning on to runway heading. So I'm come off course slightly because I want to line up the end of the runway. So when I get down here somewhere, I'll turn onto heading 96 and then line myself up with the runway. Steve, do you find clicking the buttons on a DA62 is difficult sometimes? I'm always adjusting my screen position because it has to be just right for the buttons to work. Well, I use the SciTech panel. so I don't really click the buttons. In fact, the only things I drag in here, I just move the parking brake, and then I flick the fuel forward. Other than that, and then setting up the X1000, I don't touch anything because I use the SciTech panel. But they seem okay. Actually, I did flick the master ignition switches on, but they seem to work okay.
I don't recall ever having a problem with that myself.
No.
I think sometimes if you zoom in too close, it sometimes is a bit awkward because this click spot becomes a bit. But no, I've not had that problem in anything really. I don't think.
No. I do love this plane. I need to get the twotter out again. How long's the leg on Sunday, Chris? Do you remember?
250, maybe 250.
Okay, so not really jet territory. We did say about using a large. I see. Well, that's right. I was going to do the 1900, wasn't I? Because I haven't flown that in absolutely ages. Unless, of course, I end up purchasing something at the show.
You say that with almost a lot of conviction, like you're not going to buy anything.
I didn't last year. I don't think I bought a single thing last year.
I'm not even going to pretend that I'm not going to buy something because it's just not. It's pointless.
Yeah, I didn't buy anything last year. The year before, I was going to buy the SciTech panel, but it was dearer there than it was on Amazon. So literally, I ordered it on Amazon while I was stood there.
I've still got that 16 gig RAM upgrade in the back of my head, so I'm going to see. Balance that out with the spending at the flight sim show and see what I've got left. Well, that's only, I say only, it's 70 quid for 16 gig of DDR4, which I don't think is too bad.
I'd forgotten about that. Thank you, Sam.
That's alright. Anytime.
Right, let's turn on to...
It's just in terms of scenery, because I'm looking at maybe downloading that, you know, the UHD for Norway?
Yeah.
I might download that, but I don't want it to slow my load process down, so a lot of people are saying if you use the UHD with over 16 gig of RAM, you don't tend to notice the loading time as much.
Don't say things like that. Right, so there's our runway. I'll get where's the mouse gone? There's our runway in front.
There's my runway. I call it the Atlantic.
Was you going to get that crunchy honeycomb thing? I'm not interested in the yoke because of the way my setup is using the joystick, and I absolutely love this HOTAS joystick. But the throttle quadrant does look pretty amazing, but that's not out till next year. Right, gear down. But it'd be interesting to see some of the hardware, because hardware is becoming quite a thing, which means there's these makers out there that wouldn't make the hardware just for flight sims if there wasn't a market for it. And I was quite impressed with the amount of hardware there was there last year, but looking at it, there's going to be more there this year. And I think Deadstick are there this year. I haven't really been onto their Discord in a while to see what they're up to, but I think they're there.
I hope they're there. They did mention they're trying to get a nice new demo ready for Cosford.
Well, they've only got a couple of days. I wish there was a bus gaming show. Yeah, there's nothing really for even like train sim, because that's a huge market as well. It's not as big as flight, obviously. I think it's the biggest sim genre going as far as I think people and money. You can see why we've all got completely hooked by it. It's opened all of our wallets.
Mercilessly.
Yeah. Dead stick is a problem we all have as we get older, says Limbrimball. Or too much beer, limp stick. Butter. Well, I'll quickly backtrack. Oh my good God, there's a there's a dory about to land on me. Wasn't expecting that. Right, that's leg one done.
I assume that means you crashed.
Yeah.
And then uh-oh, did you crash, Dory?
It's gone quiet.
No, it's gone quiet. Oh,
I don't know what speed to. I don't know what speed to do because it's my first time on a twin engine.
If you have a look on the airspeed indicator, I think there's a blue line which is your approach speed, and then as you go over the threshold, just bring the speed down from there. You obviously don't want to drop below the red line.
You mean both prop and the throttle?
Props are always full forward for landing, always.
Yeah.
Ah.
Same your
Okay.
mixture, full forward for landing, prop pitch full forward for landing, and just use the throttle and on flaps, obviously. You can just sit at Swindon Central and do some train spotting. I used to do that when I was a teenager, because that's about all there was to do in Swindon when you didn't have a lot of money. Right.
Bring out the violins.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to fly in heading mode for this next leg, because it's only 20 odd miles, isn't it? So we go 157. So if I go 160, that should line us up quite nicely.
Okay, here we go. Wish me luck.
Well, that was alright. I've just thought it's getting dark here, but I've not got the local time set. I've not got real time tracks. So I was like, why is the sun setting on mine and nobody else's?
3:15, it says in the afternoon, local.
Yeah, it was like 5:30. The sun was starting to drop. I was like, oh well. I just thought it looked really nice because of the sky colour, and then I suddenly realised it should be a lot earlier.
Ooh, those waves are looking fast.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for Chris coming on the runway. I was thinking, where's he going? Where is he then? Oh, he's over there. So Chris is coming in for a watery landing. Right, so Chris is there. Sam's taxiing up to me. Dory's still down there. Did you crash completely, Dory, or are you still movable? I got 11 points for that. Wow. Right, so yeah, Chris is out there in the water. And there's me, Sam and Dory. Is it an amphib? Gear up for landing.
Yep.
Which one were we taking off on this one?
The one we landed on.
Yeah, I know, but I might be at the wrong end.
In the same direction we landed. So we're carrying on the same direction. It's sort of into the wind as well.
Oh, okay, I've got to move up then.
So, yeah, that's what Chris is flying.
Technically, that's what I'm sailing.
That's what you're sailing currently. Yes, not flying. Right, Sam's here. You taxiing, Dory?
Yeah, coming up towards you.
Okay, as soon as you're up here, then I shall depart. So the next leg is 22 miles down to Spring Point, and then final leg over to here. One story's up here. Let's get myself out in position. In between lawnmowers. Oh God, xplane.org have just emailed me.
Don't look.
Something about Concorde.
Yeah, they updated it not so long back, so not that it would tempt you, but you can start it from cold and dark now without having to. Yeah.
Why? Why would you do this? Right, Dory doesn't appear to be moving on my screen. Oh, yes, he is. It's been a really long runway.
Okay.
The plane is absolutely huge. Right. Go, go, go. Up and away. I haven't changed the autopilot, so it still thinks I'm trying to fly to where I am, but I'm just going to fly in heading mode. Right, gear up.
Right, floats up.
Yeah, Chris is off as well. And Sam's on his way.
That's a bouncy runway, isn't it?
I've lost my mouse, there it is. So a whole 22 miles for this leg. And then I'll be one more.
Might just go for 1,000 feet for this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm staying at 1,000. That's what I descended to land last time, but I thought I'd stay at it this time. Bring my RPM back a little bit. There we go.
Ooh, I can open the window.
Oh,
Problem
nice.
is now I can't hear a damn thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that? I can open the window. I haven't got anything with a radial in. That must be quite nice.
Oh, it is very nice. You can get that that DC3. It's very nice as well.
Mm.
And somebody's done an F-mod sound mod for it. Oof.
That's something you shouldn't be left alone in a room with.
Well, I should be left alone in a room. You don't want to be in the room with me when I'm listening to that.
Yeah, just put a do not disturb on the door. Your wife walks in. Just give me a moment, dear.
Pass the tissues.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing hasn't quite got that same noise to it. It sounds like a couple of angry bees. Well, despite his best efforts, it doesn't look like Gaz will be joining us this evening. He certainly won't be with us on Sunday because, as we'll be streaming, he'll be somewhere in a plane heading towards Chicago.
Hopefully not at the controls.
Hopefully not at the controls. Because it'll be, I just need to re-download FS Cloud. Where to put that file?
I'll just switch the autopilot off to make sure it was on in the first place.
Yeah.
Ooh, what does this button do?
You don't want Gaz at the controls and Chaos in charge of setting up the flight plan. Hopefully Chaos is someone that over the coming weeks will start rejoining us in flight. See if we can wean him back. So we can get him back to a Sunday afternoon or something.
Yeah, I don't know if he fell out with it a bit. It can happen
I
sometimes.
think he just hit a frustration level, so it's best just to walk away for a while.
Yeah.
And then just come back to it. That's why I try and have a couple of days a week off the PC. The first time I turned this on tonight, first time it's been on since I turned it off after the stream on Sunday afternoon. So I try and have a couple of days away from it. And after tonight, the next time it will be on will be Sunday afternoon. Or actually maybe tomorrow night, briefly. But I'm on the laptop downstairs pretty much from like 5 minutes after walking in the door. Right, so our runway is going to be over there somewhere. I don't think he's watching anymore.
No, we'll find out in a minute.
Find out when there comes a sod-off Nightbot. Or I'll have to set up a no, you sod-off tux, won't I?
Sod-off talks?
Yeah. I can do that.
I think he'd actually like that.
I might take my little MacBook with me so we can do a live stream from the bar or something on Saturday night. It's not too busy. Right, turn on to runway heading and slow it down. And there is a runway. That was well timed. Right, when we land, what's it like at Cosford crowd-wise? Bearable or totally packed? Busy in the mornings. You can't get near any of the stands as soon as it opens. There's a queue halfway down the car park at like 9:30 when the doors open, and it's heaving. But after the first couple of hours, well, first 2 or 3 hours, it generally sort of spreads out because people then start wandering around the museum and then spend a bit of time then. But it's busy up until the first year. We left at like 4 o'clock, 4:30, and there's still people in there. But obviously it's proved popular for them because they're doing it over 2 days this year. As to whether people will now go on either day, so it might be less busy, and that's probably a good thing actually.
Did you see what else was on sale, Steve?
Oh, don't tell me things.
The 767.
Do you think people turn up for the theme or to meet streamers? Well, the only Squirrel was there last year and the year before, and Matt Davies was there last year, but you can see there's a lot of people there for looking at stuff, looking at what's new. I've never quite understood why there's PC makers there, because no one would go to one of them shows with the intention of buying a PC.
No.
Yes, I agree with that.
It's hardware and software. That's what you're going to look at. But there is there's probably a good half a dozen PC makers there. Midland Computer, if it was a big sponsor.
I think Chill Blaster there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were with Matt Davis is there.
And I don't know if I think Squirrel doesn't fly anymore, so I don't think he'll be going.
Well, he does real flying now. He's too good to fly on a computer.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of people have said. One guy posted on him a comment the other day saying, "I'll be there. Look out for me on the day. It'd be good to say hi." Last year it felt really odd to me to have Spanieliers walk up to me and go, "Are you Steve?" That was the first time that anyone had ever actually come up to me and gone, "Are you Steve?" I just felt really, really freaked out by it.
Other than that policeman in town that time.
Other than
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, the guy by the school.
Fucking hell.
I don't know if you see the sim in the flesh and think, "Damn, I wish my machine could run that." Oh, look, a computer that will run it. I think they must get some orders from it, because otherwise they wouldn't be there selling them. So they wouldn't go back a second year.
I had a good look at Chill Blast before I made my decision, but I didn't. Pricing wise and what I wanted, it just seemed better to go to PC specialists, and they've been really good, to be fair.
Well, I've had this computer now 2 years, and it's been absolutely, apart from me killing it by breaking the lead off the hard drive, it's been absolutely faultless.
A fair old bit of turbulence here.
Right, I am clear at the end of the runway. I bought mine from Scan, but a couple of them, and this one was a big disappointment. We'll probably go over Clockers UK or something next time. I used to buy computer components from Scan back in the day.
Yeah.
Last time I built my own PC, but I just built off the shelf for this one. Right.
I'm going to crash again, I think, guys.
Slow it down. Flaps out. Slow it down.
I've already crashed.
Oh. Okay, probably a bit late to put your flaps down now. Oh, yeah, that's a...
Oh, shit.
Oh,
oops.
Yeah.
I tell you what, this thing taxis in the dirt a lot better than the bloody Tomahawk,
Yeah.
but then it's got quite a lot more power.
Right, Chris is on his way in.
Hi, Dory.
Back in the 172 for you, Dory. No, you've got to learn to persevere with these things. And
Yeah.
when you first jump in a twin, it's completely different to a 172.
Hey, my first ever flight, I went for the 737, and it wasn't pretty.
I'm still in hold on.
FS95.
I'll just quick explain, I don't know why.
It's not easy, and I was the same. I just wanted to jump in and fly the biggest, heaviest plane I could,
I didn't
and
see
do
it.
everything.
I
but you can't.
wanted to fly the 172 and then only the 172 because I was scared of everything else. Right, MIMM is in. So that's why I went from 172 to the Kodiak, because it's just like a bigger 172, exactly the same G1000.
Yeah, you've done it the right way around, I think.
And then I went
Go
from the
through the
Kodiak
smaller.
into this, I think, the DA. Learned to fly this with a couple of others along the way. So it took me a while for you guys to get me out of the G1000. But it is different. I have to think, whenever I jump from a twin into this, into something bigger, you've got to just really think about the approach and slowing it down. And
I think I slowed it down way too much on that one.
I'm the same as you, Steve. Was in GA for the longest time, so I grew the nuts to play with jets. Yeah, I enjoy jets, but this is the ones I enjoy more. Right, so Chris is taxiing down there.
Well, you say taxiing. This thing is not quite as responsive on the ground as it is in the water. And I bounce merrily all the way down the runway.
Right, well, handily, I've run out of drink, so I'm going to be very unprofessional and leave you talking to these guys for about 30 seconds while I run downstairs and refill my glass of water. I will be
Mind the prop.
No, I'll mind the prop.
off.
No, I'll just duck behind it. Hang on, I'm back in a sec.
So, Chris, do you think Steve's going to buy the Concorde at some point before Christmas? Because I do.
I think it's fairly good, safe money on that.
Yeah, I've got a horrible feeling he might buy the A350 as well that I just posted, which I might feel a little bit responsible for.
What plane was that, Sam?
A350, mate.
Oh, Airbus you're on about, I gather.
Yeah, the newer one.
Where have you put that in? Pilot's Lounge?
I put it in both, mate, on Discord. It's right up his alley because it's not a full system representative yet, so it's basically a lot of just autopilot flying.
Which is that bigger than the 319? I gather it is.
Oh yes, it's a big plane, that one.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And the 300's on sale. That's 5760. The Boeing 767. That's actually quite a good price for that.
No, it's not.
If Jetsy.
Came back and sat on my headphones. The A350 is massive. Yeah, the gap that I've got in my hangar is big jet. That's the next thing for me.
And the other gap we were just talking about was fast jet.
Like supersonically fast.
Like pointy nosed jet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because doing a New York run in that would be quite impressive.
Although I tell you what, when I did that flying around Greece in the 170 the other day, I really enjoyed that. Despite the prattling around before you can take off, I quite enjoyed doing that.
I still need to work out that 175 because that's an awesome plane. I wish Flight Factor would pull their finger out and fix the sounds in their Boeings. I think they sound awful, says Nerf My Age.
The 767 update, it sounds a lot better. But the problem is they'll probably release a Blue Skies Star sound pack, so you have to pay for it. A lot of them tend to do that now. They did it for the Flight Factor A320. Tullis did it for the 319.
I've taken off, by the way, guys. Have you noticed?
Yeah, I'm just doing some sort of a weird wheel spin around here.
Just
sure
following that. I just posted a picture of my taxi view.
Oh wow!
Leaning out the window.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seeing as I can open the window.
Chris taxiing, like leaning out the window. That's pretty awesome. So yes, so big jet. I love the look of the Dreamliner. So that's got to be on my list. But that A350
I will
cockpit.
definitely wait.
Bit hesitant
The
to throw away too much.
A350 with modelling bit better.
Bit hesitant to throw away too much money at X-Plane now, as the MSF 2020 looks quite something.
Don't discount X-Plane just yet.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with X-Plane because they'll come back with something.
You don't know what they're going to do. Yeah, you don't know what they're going to do to counteract that, and they will do because they're not stupid.
They don't want to lose the market, do they?
Exactly.
So they're not going to go, oh yeah, that looks quite good, we'll just sit back and do nothing. They need to now go, shit, we need to keep our simmers. What are we going to do to counteract it?
That's only going to be good for us.
Yeah.
bit of healthy competition.
I do hope it pushes them. Now again, that's why I think the main talk at Cosford is going to be about 11.40, which is all about airflow and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's the little things like that that make it better.
However, some of the previous... I watched a YouTube video, the guy that's a 737 pilot, who got invited to Seattle to have a look at the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and he did say that the new company have ditched the old FSX flight model, and he said it feels more like X-Plane does in terms of you're in control of the plane, it's not on rails. So they've obviously figured that little hurdle out. So that's where that's what X-Plane have got on Microsoft and P3D. But now if they've figured it out, they're going to need to come up with something else which is what's quite exciting for everyone that's Flight Simulator fan.
I've just seen it taken.
Just to see what it is.
I've just seen it taken. Cheered some bits. Thank you very much, taken. And Flight Deck 2 sim says Nerf
that's
my
the
ears.
one. Yep. I tend to listen to him more because he's an actual pilot. So what he says holds a little bit of water. Also, watching him fly a A319, the tallest, was hilarious because he's a 737-800 pilot, so he didn't have a clue what he was doing. That was actually quite funny. Yeah, he flies for Ryanair, but he doesn't like to admit that. But he actually flies out of East Midlands, I believe.
Which is the one bit of scenery I'm going to get from Morbex.
Yeah, I'm going to get... I think I'm going to get Innsbruck, because that looks pretty good. And that'll give me an excuse, or me and Chris an excuse to pull our fingers out and try and plan that Austria trip in the DA62. Another trip to add to the
list.
Yeah.
I thought it was Bristol, or is that Johnny on Twitch, says Nerf my ears. I don't follow anybody that does any flight sim stuff. I don't watch any gamers on YouTube or Twitch or anything.
No, he's a real pilot. But he flies X-Plane every so often. It's quite good, actually. Some of the videos I put up about the Zebo have been his videos, like the tutorials and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because he's one of the... I think he's like a chief advisor for the Zebo mod. Because obviously he flies it in real life, so he tells them what the dynamics are like and how long things take to spool up and little things like that, where lights should be, when they should go off, when they should come on, sounds. So it's pretty good.
And we all know it's those little bits of detail that make all the difference.
It is, yeah, definitely. That's a little bit further, this one, isn't it?
Or Gaz can't even boot Windows.
Oh wow, that's not good.
Well, in 2 days' time, he's leaving the house for 3 weeks, so, you know. I'd be inclined to go, I'll worry about it in 3 weeks when I come home.
Just download X-Plane for your phone.
Right, so
yeah, it could be Bristol he's based at. He said he wanted to move close to home, and I believe he was from not a million miles away from where I am. So I think he wants to be, because a massive amount of Ryanair flights come out of East Midlands now. Obviously East Midlands is just going to be pretty much Ryanair, Jet2, TUI, because of Thomas Cook going out of business.
must be a busy old airport. Obviously, I've been there when we've been at the race day, and it's been sort of fairly constant flights overhead.
Yeah, there's a lot of Ryanair and Jet2. There's quite a few Flybe flights as well. But it really, if you spot in there, night time's the best time to go because of all the cargo traffic. There's just a ridiculous amount of cargo flying in and out.
But the best place to look out place is the aero park, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, there is that, but there are a couple of gates at the end of, you know, when you go up to the track.
Yeah.
of Donington. There's a bit of a windy road at the end of runway 9. There's a couple of little gates that you can walk up, and you can stand right next to the approach lights. So that's pretty cool when they're either landing or taking off.
Oh, cool.
When they're landing, you could almost reach up and touch the wheels. It's pretty cool. That's something we'll have to do.
Oh, I'm back up in the air. Sorry about the
Hey.
delay.
Cool.
Right, so 35 miles to go. Yeah, that Orbeck scenery for East Midlands does look really good.
Yeah, I was really happy about that. One of the best scenery developers doing my local airport was pretty cool.
I live right by Manston, says Nerf My Age, and there is talk of reopening it as a cargo hub airport. Well, cargo's a big thing. I think it's going to be as big here as it is in the US because of overnight deliveries and Amazon and having to get stuff in next day, and so it's big business. So you need hubs. You know, obviously, as East Midlands is big for DHL. I don't know what there must be others. Is it one of the London airports is quite big, Stansted, or what's the other one down that way?
Yeah, Stansted's got FedEx down there, I
Yeah.
think. East Midlands has got obviously DHL, UPS. They do quite a few Royal Mail flights. I think they charter some little planes to do that. TNT used to run out quite a lot of there. And then you get some of the bigger companies, Tower Air, come in with the 747-800. You get a Qatar cargo drop in every so often, then you'll get the Russian cargo planes flying. That's a bit of an experience when they come in. The Antonovs.
Nice.
But then it's cool to watch. You get the little planes coming as well. So something like a DA62 will pop in with some mail from Isle of Man or somewhere like that. It's just funny. You've got like a little DA62 coming and then followed by 747-800.
I suppose
Nice.
yeah,
You get quite a good array.
you don't think of that you know you can land a private aircraft at a commercial airport.
Yeah.
Landing fees
DHL
are
contracts
probably,
a lot of little places, the little things like that. There's a TV show on BBC a while back. I can't remember what it was called now. And there was a program about basically it was ATC, all the airports in the UK and the airspace, people that fly GA, racing planes, passenger planes, cargo, and they did quite a big bit on East Midlands. And it was pretty cool because, like I say, they had everything from 777s all the way down to tiny little planes coming in with the just letters and little envelopes for DHL, like documents for businesses and things. It was actually really good. If I can find it, I'll try and. I can't remember what it was called now. I think the series is on YouTube.
well, I like watching those. There's inside Heathrow Airport, currently been on.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting.
The Yorkshire Airport one was quite good as well.
I
I hate
enjoyed
to
that.
admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Onboard aviation, they're quite good as well. Onboard HD for doing the flight reviews. They're similar to Noel Phillips, but there's no talking.
See, I like the talking. It just adds something. Sometimes Noel annoys me. Sam Chewy, I watch a few of his, then just come away for a while.
Yeah, he's good in small doses, isn't he?
Yeah. But again, he's getting quite big, and I think he knows he's quite big and famous, and
Yeah.
it's at that point then when a lot of YouTubers and people like that just get annoying. Hashtag.
Yeah, I
story.
tend to switch off after that. Yeah. I can't remember the last time I watched one of his videos.
But I do like that sort of travel video. Was it Paul something or other?
Yeah.
Does some transport. Paul Lucas or something, is it? Does some transport stuff as well. The guy I really like, which I have posted on Discord before, is a channel called the Elevator Channel. He's a lift engineer by trade, so he does occasionally do reviews on lifts, which is quite boring. But he does reviews of car washes, which is actually quite interesting. When he stays at a hotel, he does a hotel room tour. But the biggest things he does is trip reports, because he seems to go all across the US for business. He does like lengthy trip reports on, from leaving his house, he'll vlog in the car, through the airport, on the plane, through the hire car at the other end to his hotel. It's really interesting. So sometimes it's about the person and the narration they're doing as well as the experience of travelling, and it's really interesting. I love finding little quirky little channels like that. I promise
lifts are my one weird fear that I've got. It's, some people are scared of spiders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Snakes. I'm not bothered about anything. Lifts is my one irrational fear. I hate lifts. We've been on holiday before in 12-story hotel, and I've walked up the stairs because I won't go to the lift. Mrs. Alpha Mike's just taken the cases and gone in the lift, and I've walked up the stairs.
You're not alone.
I hate them.
I hate lifts.
Yeah. She can't understand it though, because I'm fine on an aeroplane, but on a lift, I can't stand them. They're just weird little claustrophobic coffins on strings.
I've never been up in a really tall building in a lift. I think the tallest thing I've been up is the Spinnaker Tower in Portsmouth. I've never been up a skyscraper or anything like that. So
World Trade Centre for me.
I suppose you got no sensation of being up high when you're in the lift, though, have you?
No.
I don't think I could go in one of these glass elevators that are on the outside of a building. I think that could be quite freaky.
Yeah.
See, I thought when we went to Turkey, there was a glass lift in the hotel, and we were on quite a high floor, and I thought, it's probably not as bad because it's a glass lift. No, one floor, and I got out. Panic attack still. same thing as being enclosed in a normal lift. Is just something about them. I don't know. Just don't like it.
Well, everyone's got a fear, haven't they?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I'm not like planes, trains, bikes. Not bothered about anything like that.
I was never worried about being on a plane. Obviously, the first time I flew was only 10 years ago. I had no fear of it at all. I don't know if it's got... Yeah, I got nothing transport-wise that I'm fearful of. It's one of those things, if you're going to die, you're going to die. What's the point of worrying about it? You don't get on a plane thinking, oh my God, I might not be at the end of this. If you did that, you wouldn't cross the street.
Exactly, yeah.
So, yeah, I haven't got any fear about flying or anything like that. I don't mind lifts that have windows, says Nerf my age.
Mrs. Alpha Mike says she finds it easier since we met each other because I can explain what's happening.
With the noise, most people like the noises in planes.
A lot of people get panicky because obviously you roll the thrust back after takeoff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people get panicky because they're like, "Oh shit, the engine stopped."
Yeah, it dips.
Because some engines make quite a lot of noise when they roll back.
Yeah.
And then obviously you get a weird sensation when the flaps come up.
Yeah.
It almost feels like you're pressing into your seat. So things like that, I can see why it would panic someone if they don't know what it is that's happening. So I think it can help to be sitting next to a nerd on an aeroplane.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and, noise on a landing gear goes up, and
yeah,
like, what's that
the
noise?
wind noise can be quite loud. I found that thing. I think there's about 8 or 9 episodes of it.
Okay.
I'll post it in the entertainment bit. I'll post the one that's got East Midlands on it in the cargo.
Alright, so I'm going to turn on to roughly runway heading. I think we've only had one trip in the Bahamas in this where it hasn't rained.
Yeah.
So somewhere in front of me should be runway. May have turned too soon.
I've got
There you go.
heading 66 for runway 6.
Yeah, I'd say you've probably turned a little soon.
I'm always doing things too soon. Premature, I think, is the other word for it, but you know. Get it over and done with is my philosophy. Right. So yeah, I've turned way too early. It's too far away from everything. I think I'll put my chair back exactly where it was. Yeah, I did turn way too early. Oh well. I'm sure we can correct that. So yeah, don't forget, if you're watching, the next stream from me will be Sunday afternoon with some more flying in South Africa, because being away at the Flight Sim show, won't be a stream Friday or Saturday. But we'll be back in time to do something on Sunday afternoon. Unless, of course, Gaz keeps me in the bar too late on Saturday night, which I can't see if he's got to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, but he's probably got a nice Dreamliner to sleep on.
Well, actually, I was about to say it's still the fact he's got to drive to Birmingham Airport, but that won't bother him.
It's not that far, is it, really, from where you are, I wouldn't have thought.
No. Well, hotel's Telford, so...
Yeah.
Ah, I see a runway. Rum coming in far too fast. Right, gear down. So there we go, the final landing in front of us. So next Wednesday we will carry on from here and make our way across to Cuba, where it's quite a long leg in it if we're going straight up Cuba, so there could be some jets involved in getting up through Cuba.
Yeah, I think after we've landed in our first Cuba stop, maybe some jets up to Havana.
Sounds good. So Sunday will be big twin props. So the 1900D for me, I think. Unless I get convinced to break out the Saab, because that does sound really nice.
I think I might stick that for a while. I might stick with the radial theme and take the DC3.
Ooh. Did I grab the update? What, to the Saab or to 1900? No, I haven't grabbed the 1900 update. I'll probably forget to do that because I said I won't be on the computer again after I turn it off in a bit until I come back home on Sunday. So chances of me coming home, firing up the computer and remembering to go, oh yeah, I need to get the update. So it might end up being the Saab. And yeah, next week we'll see the return of the late night flight on Saturday. carrying on in Canada.
We're not far. 2 stops from
Yes.
your favourite place.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think we're flying to Vancouver next.
Yeah, I think that's what you said, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the next airport, and
Late
then from
landing.
Vancouver to the other place.
To the place with no name.
Yeah.
Is there? Oh, there was a taxiway there. I'll just go right to the end. Do you stream bus stuff or strictly YouTube? Occasionally I do stream some bus stuff. I haven't done it in a while. Occasionally there'll be a tourist bus or firm bus stream. I do need to do another one because there's some bits I want to do in tourist bus. I haven't done OMSI in a while actually on a stream. Make a quick stop at AT4. I'll wave at you, says Limp Rimble. I'm sure we could pencil that in. I disagree. I don't think it was great. That landing was great. The computer told me it was great, Tux. What do you know? Only a few minutes from Vancouver. We'll be jetting into Vancouver. But if you remind us on the stream, we could make a short hop, skip and a jump. To err is human. To really foul things up requires a computer. This is true. Right. There we go. We have arrived. If I remember now how to do the thing with the things. Open that. Put the chocks on. There we go. I've surrounded it by cones because people now know it's a hazard. I'm gonna watch these guys come in. So Sam's down.
Yeah, really like flying this little thing.
Chris is landing on the water.
Yeah, I'm
In the
just watching
stream
Chris
if you want to
now.
watch.
Oh. Right, so there's Chris. That does sound nice.
Beefy, innit?
It's on just above tickover. Too fast. There's my stall.
Butter.
Well, that was an unfortunate bounce.
I hope you put the lid down on that toilet that's just behind you, Chris.
Oh.
That could be messy.
And again, Nightbot. You just ask. Oh, we got a great landing that time.
Oh God.
Uh-oh. Oh, in comes Dory.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna crash it again. I just can't get the speed right.
Gear down, flaps out, prop forward.
Oh.
mixture forward. Just control it on the throttles.
Oh. No. Oh. No.
Just remember, if you get too stuck, just full power and you can go round.
Yeah, it's too late for that. I'm already on the ground.
Well,
Oh, there you go,
that's a
then,
plus.
landed.
Yeah.
I've got the lawnmowers out because I thought I'd better cut the grass.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, it's crap again. Oh well.
It'll get better.
What sort of speed should I be coming at when I'm approaching the runway? About
I'll say
100.
it varies from plane to plane, but as Chris said,
If I drop it too much, it just suddenly just drops like a stone.
keep your eye on that bar on the speed ribbon. Don't let it go into the red.
Yeah, the blue line is where you need to be on approach.
Ah, okay.
But again, it's worth flying the same plane for a while and do a few landings, and you'll get used to the
Yeah.
speed of that plane. Speed with elevator, height with power. There we go. So Chris is down. Tell us about your stream watching experience. Yeah, we'll give it a happy face. There we go. That was really bizarre. Right, so Chris is over there on the beach. Door is down there. Where's... I've lost my plane. Oh, there's me and there's Sam. Let's go back outside the plane. So there we go. We made it. We will carry on from here next Wednesday, where we're heading down towards Cuba, and then it'll be a jet flight up to Havana. So next Wednesday we'll carry on from here. On Sunday we will carry on from wherever it was we got to, somewhere near Chris's place. Somewhere there. Flying up to, where are we going to go? Anyway, we're heading over. We're heading
Chris's
over.
home airport.
Yeah, Pretoria somewhere, wouldn't it? And
Bondaboo.
yeah, and we're going to FQMA, I think it is. Before we're going somewhere, and then heading across to Madagascar. Before then heading up in towards Dubai. So a few trips ahead of us. So
Oh no, there's scenery for Dubai. That means I'm going to buy that.
so that's where we'll be on Sunday, which is going to be the next stream from me. So my thanks then to the man to my right, Sam. Thank you very, very much. We'll catch you at the Flight Sim show on Saturday, and then on the flight on Sunday.
Yeah, nice one. I enjoyed that.
It was good. To the man down there that isn't quite on fire, we'll catch you for the Flight Sim show on Saturday, and maybe then for the flight on Sunday. And to the man over there, as much as we'd love to meet you at the Flight Sim show, Chris, it's a bit of a trek for you. But all being well, we'll catch you for the flight on Sunday.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
No problem. So there we go. Next stream back Sunday afternoon with some more flying down in South Africa. Check out YouTube for some live streams from the show on Saturday, as well as some pictures and things being posted in Discord on Saturday as well. We'll end that there. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.